Hello, Battering Buddies. My name is Bowing, and today we Ghost Recon, but that's not what we're focusing on because you have seen the title of. We're going to be talking about Mission Impossible Fallout, and I just thought this game would be a good reference, I guess.
Well, it's just because it's an open world and we don't have to keep on going in and out of menu screens, unlike every other game that we have. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be focusing on Mission Impossible Fallout. If you haven't seen the movie, this video will not make sense, and if you're trying to find spoilers, please don't. Go see the movie. It's a fantastic movie, and in my opinion, the best Mission Impossible movie. It's my favorite so far, but we'll get into that later. Alright, so this is of course Mission Impossible's final outing, and honestly it is one of the greatest spy movies, and in my opinion the best Mission Impossible movie that is made so far. And yeah, we're just going to be talking about what we think of the movie and what happens in it and how we think, is this a good way for the series to go out? So yeah, we'll get into that. What do you want to start with?
That question, I would say yes. 100%.
What question? I asked like two questions right there, Flynn.
If it's a good way to end the series, I would say 100% yes.
Well, we can't just say yes. We have to go more in depth, Flynn.
Yeah, I know, but like just a general answer, yes.
Whoops.
Okay, so what should we talk about first?
I asked you that question and you didn't respond. So,
Yep.
answer the dang question.
I don't know.
Of course you don't.
I guess we should start with like a summary of the movie, because that's how I do all of my reviews. At least most of my reviews.
Summary of the movie. Okay. Well, Ethan Hunt is called in to do a mission that, well, here's the thing. He's called in to do a mission, but he fails, so he's given a chance to redeem himself. Basically, what he was assigned to do was get plutonium from a terrorist organization that plans to make three nuclear bombs and what the terrorist organization is trying to do is find peace, or at least that's what they think they're trying to do. But to do that, they have to make the world suffer. And their tagline is, the greater the suffering, the greater the peace. So, Ethan has a chance to stop the plutonium from ever getting in the hands of the terrorist organization, but he loses it when he sacrifices the mission to save his friend Luther, that has been in every single Mission Impossible movie. Right?
Not Ghost Protocol.
Right. Well, most of them. And anyway, so after he loses the plutonium, Alec Baldwin's character, which I don't know his official title, but he's associated with MIF or Mission Impossible Force or the CIA. I forget which one he's involved with, but he is involved with Ethan on many occasions, whether it's against him or with him. And basically he sets him out on a mission to redeem himself and get back to plutonium. After a lot of chasing, well, first let me introduce one of the characters. I think his name is Walker, or at least that's what he goes by, and he's played by Superman, of all people. So yeah, Walker is a CIA operator that has been sent in to make sure that Ethan Hunt doesn't mess up again and loses the plutonium. He is assigned to get it back at all costs, not letting Ethan or his team get in the way of that. So they meet up with a arms dealer, which happens to be Max's daughter. Max is a side character from the first Mission Impossible. If you didn't catch up on that, that's what that whole character is referring to. So yeah, I feel like it's a cool detail to have this character refer back to the beginning of the series. Oh, good. Alright. So yeah, I feel like that's a cool little Easter egg. Well, not really an Easter egg. I don't know, like, I know that both of them are arms dealer. I'm not sure, like, that doesn't really play into the movie because it doesn't really lead to a conflict where Ethan reveals that he's the one who took her down or anything. But yeah, it doesn't really go anywhere. But I think it's still a cool little detail that they chose to leave in. Hold on.
Yeah, they bring back a lot of people from the old movies.
AKA 2.
in this.
They bring back 2.
Yeah, but I mean, like, everybody's in here.
Except that girl from Mission Impossible 2. And Jeremy Renner's character.
Mostly everybody is back, okay? Shut up.
So I'm just saying. Not everybody's here. So yeah. Anyways, back to the summary. Okay. So. Where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, after they deal with the arms dealer, the villain from Rogue Nation returns, and he is the leader of, well, I guess he is the leader of the new terrorist organization. Wait, what was the name of the terrorist organization? It's not the Apostles, that was the one from Rogue Nation.
No, it's the Apostles.
Oh, really? It was the Apostles? Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah,
that was the one from Rogue Nation.
was the Syndicates.
Oh, right. Okay. So, yeah. So after they retrieve,
back,
his name's Solomon,
and they
right?
have to break
That
him out.
was his name.
I don't know. I'm bad
Oh,
with
by the way,
names.
Ethan goes by a fake identity, but it's not on purpose. They accidentally kill someone that they needed alive, so Ethan has to pretend to be that person, but since the laptop that makes the masks and stuff gets broken in the fight, he has to hope that they haven't met before, just like in Ghost Protocol. And the character that he's pretending to be, the character's name is John Lark or something. Yeah, that's the name. And he goes by that identity, but Walker thinks and is associated with the Apostles and is betraying the MIF and all those organizations. And then after retrieving the target, they... Wait, what was the girl's name? Not Julia, the other one. The one that's been told to kill Solomon. What's her name? I forgot. You know the girl who shoots John Lark in the bathroom?
Yeah, I know. I just don't know her name. I know who the person is. I don't know her name. I grabbed the name.
It begins with an I. That's all I know. Ilsa or something like that? I completely forgot.
Did you just say Elsa?
No, I said Ilsa. Whatever, man. Anyway, so a girl that, the girl from Rogue Nation, right? Or is she in Ghost Protocol?
Yes.
Yeah, Rogue
No,
Nation.
Rogue Nation.
Oh yeah, Ghost Protocol was that girl that kicked the villain out the window. Anyway, so the girl from Rogue Nation returns and she basically betrays Ethan, but eventually Ethan, like, apparently they just completely forget about that, and she joins their mission, and they meet up with Alec Baldwin's character to do the trade-off, but to tie up loose ends, they trick Walker into revealing him as a traitor. So they basically they make a mask for Benji to wear, and they trick Walker into revealing his entire plan. And then they think that everything's all wrapped up, but they are ambushed by the Apostles, and Alec Baldwin's character is killed in the crossfire. And then Ethan goes on a chase of Walker, and then Walker reveals that he has Impossible 3. So Walker claims that he is her guardian angel, and if Ethan tries to pursue Walker, she dies. Of course, Ethan can't let Walker go, so they track him down to a remote medical camp in a country that the apostles have plagued with smallpox. At this medical camp, they find Julia, and it is revealed that Julia is in danger whether or not Ethan chose to follow Walker. So they have to save the medical camp with Julia and the rest of his team inside. So Walker tries to escape in a helicopter, but Ethan, of course, gets onto a second helicopter and chases him down. This results in of course, Tom Cruise does his own stunts in all of his movies, but he has gone on record to say that this is one of the most exciting and dangerous ones of them all, because there is no way, if they mess up, then they're really in danger, because there is no way for them to, be safe, because they're flying helicopters. Of course, helicopters have safety procedures that they have to go through, but either way, these are dangerous stunts that these people are doing. Also, Ethan's character in the movie is portrayed to not know how to fly a helicopter, which I have no idea how the heck he does not know how to fly a helicopter, but whatever. So eventually he managed to crash and ram Walker's helicopter down, and he gets burned in the process. Well, his face gets burned. No.
Well, yeah, but it's like
No, it's more of a fourth, because it's only the side of his head, not his face. Anyway, so they proceed to fight, and Ethan manages to kill Walker by letting the rope that is making the helicopter on the cliff. There's a hook basically, and
it's connected to the helicopter.
yeah, and then it drags Walker down into a fiery grave. And then at the last second, Ethan and his team manages to defuse the bombs, and world saved. Woo! Basically, that's what happens in the movie. So now what do you want to talk about, Flynn?
Probably the actors and how they've been in this movie.
Tom Cruise, of course, delivers a amazing performance of Ethan Hunt, and I think that, I'm not saying that it's his best performance, but, by the way, Ethan says sorry a lot in this movie, and I mean a lot. I swear that he says sorry to everybody he comes across. Anyway, so Tom Cruise, of course, has an amazing performance of Ethan Hunt as a man that is conflicted against the lives of few over the lives of many, because he doesn't want anybody to die. Also, a really good character arc is how they go back to why Ethan came back to the spy business. Luther explains to the girl that we can't remember the name of, explains to the girl that Julia and Ethan were happily married, but whenever something bad would happen, Ethan would always think, I could have been there. And they both knew this, and eventually they figured out that eventually something bad would happen because they were together. So Ethan decides to go back into the spy business, and Julia decides to be a ghost and disappears. Luther taught her how to be a ghost. Hey, it's funny, we're playing Ghost Recon, ha ha ha. Anyway.
You said in this thing.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what I think about Tom Cruise. Simon Pegg as Benji is my favorite character, and before going into seeing this movie, I said to Flynn and Mason, if Benji dies, this movie is automatically trash. But he doesn't, so it's all good.
Yeah, did we mention spoilers before we did the whole summary?
Yes.
Of the movie?
I did. You didn't. Piece of... Anyway, so Simon Pegg does a great performance on Benji. I don't think, like, Benji's funny, of course, but I actually think, like, Benji's starting to get a little serious about stuff, and he's not making the mistakes that he made in Ghost Protocol or Rogue Nation and that kind of stuff. So it all comes full circle, and Benji's finally portrayed. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so Benji's finally portrayed as a actual spy and field agent that can do his job well. And yeah, so Luther returns for this film, and I think that he's the same as always keeping cool under pressure. However, he always seems to get into danger whenever they have a conflict with someone. He always seems to get into danger, kind of like how in the beginning of the movie he doesn't cause them to lose the plutonium, but he does get in danger, and Ethan cannot come to let Luther die. So yeah, I'm not saying that Luther is the whole reason why like everything goes wrong in this movie, but it's just an observation that I made that he always seems to
get into trouble.
Yeah. Anyway, so Walker is brilliantly portrayed by, dang it, I forgot his name. I'm trying not to forget his name, and Flynn's probably gonna hate me for forgetting his name. What's the name of the actor, Flynn? You don't remember either, don't you?
Give me a second.
Don't look it up.
Henry Cavill.
Alright, so Walker is portrayed brilliantly by Henry Cavill, constantly going back and forth between helping Ethan and not helping him. So, in the beginning of the movie, it goes back and forth on whether or not they want to portray Walker as the villain, or if they want to portray him as a person who's just doing the job that he was assigned to. But eventually it's revealed that Walker is the villain and is a traitor. So yeah, honestly, I think that Walker is not the greatest Mission Impossible villain, but he is a pretty good one, solely because of how well he keeps control over the situation up until the end. Like, he has a pretty good grip on the situation at hand up until the end, where he makes a fatal mistake of getting Julia involved.
Superman and I mean, no, nothing. Don't guys.
But I want to.
He played Superman in the Teen Titans movie.
Why'd you bring that up?
I don't know, I saw it and I'm like, wait, Nicolas Cage played Superman? What? Which actually, I may do a Teen Titans movie review. I don't know. Depends. I mean, okay.
Don't give that movie credit that it doesn't deserve.
No, remember how I said that the thing about the Teen Titans show in the... Oh, jeez. Okay.
How?
How I... Don't guess. We're not talking about this game while talking about movies.
Anyway. So yeah, that basically sums up most of the main. That basically sums up most of. Oh, Julia. Julia returns. Well, the actress reprises her role as Julia, and honestly, it's a really good performance. Even though she isn't in, like, she's only in a fourth of the movie. I still think that it's a nice. I still think that she did a great job in all the scenes that she did with Luther. Basically, only with Luther, but still. She plays the person who doesn't know exactly what she's doing, but she does it anyway, so she can help the people that she loves. Kind of like, basically, she does what Ethan does. So, yeah.
Specific role.
All right. So, what do you want to do now?
I don't know. What would you rate the movie?
10 out of 10.
Okay, that was a stupid answer.
What?
What did you... I mean, no. That was a stupid question. Sorry. Not answer. No!
Excuse me?
No. That was a stupid question because I knew you were going to say it 10 out of 10. Anyways, I will do Arkham part 8 soon, okay? Life sucks. That's my excuse, yeah. Anyways, I may do it after this video, maybe today, I'm really not sure. Anyways, back to the movie. What did you think was wrong? If you had to pick something that you didn't like about the movie, oh my Jesus, oh my Jesus, oh my Jesus. Okay, if you had to pick something that you thought was wrong with the movie, what would it be?
You're just doing this so that way you can complain about the movie, so why don't you say what you thought was wrong with the movie?
No, I want to see what you thought, because you think
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with the movie. It was perfect.
Is amazing. I want to see if you had to choose.
No, there is nothing wrong with this movie, dude. It's perfect.
But it has a 97 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey, it's higher than everything else in the series.
True.
Buckle up, people.
Yeah, and then what was the best part of the movie?
I don't know what my favorite part of the movie was, but I already told you what... Actually, I don't want to say that part that I told you about was my favorite part, but honestly, I actually really liked the scene because of how different it was. There are actually two scenes in the movie.
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Alright, so... Anyway. So, my favorite scene in the movie was in the beginning when they're talking with the arms dealer, and she's telling them that they have to kill everybody in the escort when they're escorting the target. And Ethan imagines what it would have been like if they would have done it that way. The whole scene is great because in the trailer they show parts of the gunfight with actual sounds and with actual music and sound effects, but in the actual movie every single no music, no sound effects, no nothing. Literally, you are looking at the screen with no sound. And I think that's a really cool way of showing this scene, because it shows that the entire scene without really showing anything. It follows Ethan wearing a mask to not reveal his identity, and he doesn't really do much in the fight up until the end when he downs a cop, and then he stops imagining it. Of course, he doesn't do it. He finds another way, aka ramming the truck into the river. But I really like the scene because with removing all the sound, it really lets you take in what's happening. You take in exactly what's going on, even though it doesn't reveal that Ethan's imagining it. Because it doesn't really make it all that clear. This could very well be what goes down in the film. This could have happened, but it doesn't. It's all a dream. Also, no audio makes the scene look really beautiful, and the cinematography needs to do all the talking, and it's really good. Also, another part in the movie where they're escorting him up to a small car. The music plays for, you think it's playing for way too long. And, I'm not saying that it's a good scene. I'm not saying that it's a bad scene either. I'm just saying that the music plays for an extended amount of time. And I know this is done intentionally, and I have nothing wrong with it. But I really wanted one of the characters to talk.
Yeah.
What do you think was wrong with the movie, Flynn?
I'm not saying anything was wrong with the movie.
Then why were you making me say something?
No, because because you kept saying, this is the best movie ever in crap. So
I said it's the greatest Mission Impossible movie ever.
Yeah, I wanted to see what you thought was wrong with it.
So you have nothing wrong with the movie? What the heck, man?
Well,
why would you make me complain about the movie if you have nothing to complain about?
Walker was a good character, but I kind of knew he was bad from the beginning.
What? Are you saying that when you go into Star Wars, you don't know that Darth Vader's the villain?
I mean,
Just
I'm
because
saying
the
they
villain is obvious does not
kind-
make it a bad villain, Flynn.
Well, no, I'm just saying they made it super obvious that the reveal that he was the leader, or at least for me.
So
I
what?
wanted-
That doesn't matter. Just because the villain is obvious does not make him a bad villain. Sometimes it's what the villain
No, I'm not
does.
saying he's a bad villain. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, but why are you
in my
complaining about
opinion, they revealed
about a villain
lot.
that's obvious? What makes you think that they weren't trying to make it obvious? Pretty early in the film, he gives the CIA leader or whatever evidence to blame it on Ethan. Are you saying that he's? I don't
Well, no,
think.
'cause they made it look like it was a big fight between him and Ethan, and I think that's kind of just not ruining the movie.
What, you
but-
mean the bathroom scene?
No, well, the bathroom scene, they didn't even fight, and I thought that
I
they were
I
gonna
thought that
fight
it was
that.
funny for that one part where Ethan is just like, well, like he gets like knocked down because he gets the wind kicked out of him, and he's just like laying there, just trying to recuperate while Walker's getting beaten up. I thought that was a really funny scene. I know it wasn't supposed to be funny; it was supposed to be tense, but I just thought it was kind of funny just to see Tom Cruise laying on the ground. It was funny, for me at least.
You know what scene was really good in my opinion?
What?
The scene where they both jumped out of the helicopter and
You mean the plane in the beginning, and he gets knocked out by
yeah,
lightning?
plane. Whatever. Yeah.
I thought, like, I'm not saying that it was, okay, I am saying that it was a funny scene. Well, not funny. It was funny when Waller's like, whoa, you free a little lightning, and then he gets knocked out. Sometimes I feel like, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. I feel like this is kind of a good thing. Sometimes I just wish Walker would shut up. But then when he doesn't shut up, it kind of makes you dislike the character. And that's kind of the point of the whole character, so yeah.
What is this game? Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's a free roam game where you're a secret, or you're a ghost, basically. You can't be seen.
Hey, Smile 22, the game.
What?
It's a movie reference. Well, a movie that hasn't even come out yet, but still.
Okay.
Hey, look, the window's gone, but my bullet marks aren't. Haha. And you say this game's realistic, Flynn.
Well, okay, they tried to be realistic. It's kind of realistic.
This isn't a review about this game, Flynn. Back to the movie. So, yeah. Flynn tries to make me complain about a really great movie, even though he has nothing to say either. Ha ha ha, Flynn sucks.
No, I did have something to complain about.
But you didn't
revealed
say
a
it up
lot
until
in the
now.
trailers already.
What?
They revealed a lot in the trailers before anybody even saw the movie.
So you're saying that just because they show the villain means that they reveal too much?
Well, no, the villain that is supposed to be like an ally. It was kind of obvious that he was supposed to be the villain. I'm not
And
saying
what
that
makes
he
you
was
think
bad.
that that wasn't supposed to what those trailers were suggesting? Also, okay, hold on. After watching the movie, I went back to the trailers and realized how much they did not put into this movie. Like that whole scene where the blood's dripping from the barbed wire because some guy got clothesline. I was really hoping to see what the heck happened there, but then it doesn't show up in the movie. What the f— There were a couple of scenes in the trailers that they didn't show in the movie, and I was actually really interested to see how those connected, and I was really upset to see that they weren't in the movie at all. That's actually one of my only complaints about the. And it's not really their fault because I know that like people don't put like everything that they put in the trailers in the movie. But seriously, one of the most interesting things that I put. What do you mean? Which part?
Do you not remember the scene where everybody's running up and Hulk's in there? Hulk wasn't even in the movie.
Well, yeah, in Thor Ragnarok, they show Thor with his eye, but then in the movie, they're like, oh, you thought he actually loses his eye. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to mislead your viewers into something and then completely pulling the rug out from underneath their feet. Sometimes that is necessary to make suspenseful. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but seriously, one of the most interesting things about the trailer was where they were saying his team would be dead, and they're like, oh, I know, that's the job, and then showing that scene. I was really interested to see, because I thought that Ethan got a whole new team, and then he lost it, and then he got his old team back. But it didn't happen, so I wasn't upset while I was watching the movie, but when I came home and I realized that it wasn't in the movie, I was kind of upset. So.
Yeah. So, stars. We already did like 10 out of 10. Like, and whatever. Just good movie. That's my explanation of this one.
You're bad.
Right, it was a good movie.
What? Can you not go more in depth than just saying it was a good movie?
I liked the action scenes. I liked pretty much everything about the movie, except for that one tiny flaw that I...
What do you mean, dude? I still think that that's not a bad thing. Having an obvious villain is... And even still, you have no idea what the heck they were intending with those trailers, so you cannot judge.
Oh yeah, anyways, what do you guys think about the movie, if you've even seen it? Think it's good, bad, awesome, terrible, whatever. It's basically the same thing. Who cares?
Second target right there.
Whoops.
You can't find any civilians in there. Third target there.
Me play Batman Arkham Origins.
His least favorite Arkham game.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd give a rating of all the Arkham games, City, Night, Asylum, Origins, and that stupid 3DS Blackgate game.
I actually own that.
You own that?
Yeah. Because I didn't know what it was at first, and then after getting in, I'm like, oh shoot, this is horrible.
Yeah, it's a side-scroller Batman game.
Have you even played it, Flynn?
Oh, on the Wii U. Oh yeah, yeah. Isn't that like, isn't there an armored edition on the Wii U or something?
Do you have a Wii U?
Yeah, I have a Wii U. I don't have any games, or I have like 3 games.
Alright, cool. Alright, so yeah, is there anything else that needs to be...
There's really nothing else that we can say about the movie. Our review, it was good.
That's not my review. My review is it's...
Well, I was about to say, Troy's review is the best movie ever.
It's not the best movie ever. It's the best Mission Impossible movie ever. Best movie ever, in my opinion, is an entire video on its own.
I'll drive.
video on the best movie ever.
Yeah, sure.
Are you going to make it after this? Because I shall help.
Yeah, sure.
C4 Prime.
I said mostly everything, and Flynn was just here for the ride, like usual.